You know, I've been a grandmother for 23 years now, and I thought I'd seen it all. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for what my son did 3 weeks before Christmas last year. Let me back up a little. My name's Margaret, though everyone calls me Marge. I'm 71, living in the same colonial house in Connecticut where I raised my 3 kids. The kind with the creaky stairs, drafty windows I keep meaning to fix, and a kitchen that smells like cinnamon and coffee no matter what time of year. My late husband Tom and I bought this place in 1979, and I've hosted every single Christmas here since. Every single. One, it's tradition. The grandkids, all 7 of them, they live for it. We do the whole 9 yards, decorating the tree together the day after Thanksgiving, baking cookies that somehow always turn out lopsided, the kids performing their little Christmas show that's really just chaos with jingle bells. My daughter Sarah drives up from Philadelphia with her husband Mike and their 3 kids. My youngest, Ben, comes from Boston with his wife Claire and their twin boys. And then there's David. David's my middle child, 46 years old, works some big corporate job in Manhattan that I've never fully understood, something with logistics and optimization. He's got a wife, Amanda, who's, well, let's just say she's particular. And they have 2 kids, Ethan, who's 12, and Sophie, who just turned 9. So there I was, mid-November, already planning the menu when David called. "Hey, Mom," he said, that tone in his voice I've learned to recognize, the one that means he's about to tell me something he knows I won't like. "What is it, honey?" "So, Amanda and I were talking, and we've decided we're going to skip Christmas at your place this year." I actually laughed. I thought he was joking. "David, that's not funny. You know the kids would be." "No, Mom, I'm serious. Amanda's parents invited us to their timeshare in Turks and Caicos. It's already booked. We're flying out December 23rd. The wooden spoon I'd been holding clattered into the sink. You're canceling Christmas." My voice came out smaller than I intended. "We're not canceling it, we're just doing it differently this year. The kids are excited about the beach, you understand, right?" I didn't understand, not even a little bit. "David, this is our tradition, your father and I stopped, feeling that familiar ache. Tom had been gone for 5 years, but moments like these, I felt his absence like a fresh wound. "We've done this for decades. I know, Mom, but traditions change. We'll see you next year, okay? I've got to run, meeting in 5. And just like that, he hung up. I stood there in my kitchen, staring at the calendar on the wall with all the Christmas plans written in red marker, and I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. I felt small, unimportant, like I was something that could just be skipped. Sarah called me that evening. Somehow word had already spread. "Mom, I heard about David. I'm so sorry." "It's fine," I lied, stirring my tea too aggressively. "He's an adult. He can make his own choices." "It's not fine, and you know it. Ethan and Sophie were crying about missing Christmas at Grandma's house last year when they had the flu. This is going to devastate them." "Well, Amanda's parents have a timeshare apparently. Hard to compete with that." Sarah was quiet for a moment. Then, "You know what? Let me make some calls." I didn't think much of it until 2 days later when Sarah called back, her voice buzzing with energy. "Okay, so I talked to Ben and we have an idea. Don't argue, just listen." What they proposed was crazy. Beautiful, but crazy. That's how I found myself 3 weeks later, standing in my living room at 6 a.m. on December 23rd, waiting. Sarah had driven up the night before with her crew. Ben and his family had arrived past midnight. The house was already chaotic. Kids racing around in their pajamas, the smell of bacon and pancakes filling every corner. And then my phone rang. David's number. Mom, something happened. We're at JFK and our flight got canceled. Some massive storm system in the Caribbean. They're saying they can't get us out until after Christmas, maybe the 27th. I could hear Amanda's frustrated voice in the background, Sophie crying, Ethan's disappointed groan. My heart should have broken for them. Instead, I smiled. "Oh, honey, that's terrible," I said, catching Sarah's eye across the room. She was grinning. "I guess you'll have to come here after all." "Mom, we don't want to impose, and we already told you." "David, get in your car and drive home, now." Something in my voice must have clicked because he went quiet. "Okay, we'll be there by noon." I hung up and turned to my gathered family. "They're coming." The house erupted in cheers. Here's what David didn't know, there was no storm. Sarah's husband Mike has a college buddy who works for the airline. They'd created a fake cancellation notice. Every screen at the airport would have shown it. A little Christmas movie magic, if you will. When David's family walked through my door at 12:47 p.m., Sophie and Ethan bolted straight for their cousins. David looked exhausted, Amanda looked annoyed, but within an hour, after hot cocoa and cookies and the kids pulling them into decorating the last of the tree, Even she was laughing. That night, after dinner, David found me in the kitchen washing dishes. "Mom, I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I don't know what I was thinking." I dried my hands and turned to face my son. "You were thinking about making your wife happy, I understand that. But David, family isn't something you reschedule. We won't be here forever." His eyes got shiny. He hugged me tight. "I know, Mom, I know.